Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So Ron's obviously still on vacation. Craig is off. Nestor is on vacation, so it's the four of us. Sorry. The 4.5 of us. I had a bit of a babysitting mom problem today, so thank you for... We're going to start with the sales update. As of today, we have 148 occupied independent living units. We have 2 units on notice, and then we have 6 units deposited on that will be move-ins through mid-March. Assisted living census today, as of today, is 28. We have a couple move-ins happening this, what's left of this month, and then into February. We do have, I want to bring this up about the weekly letter, because I get emails sometimes. If you have email and are not getting the weekly letter via email, please reach out to myself or Mark so that we can update your email address, add your email address, or see if there's a problem with your email server. Some of the feedback I've been getting from residents and family members with specific, I believe it's like Hotmail or Outlook, sometimes Microsoft will put a block on what they consider a sales email to kind of eliminate spam or what they feel is spam from your email inbox, and it'll block our email so that I have to go in and reset it and resubscribe your email to our system. So if you are having any issues, just let me know and I can reach out. I can try to figure it out, or I can reach out to the folks who run my web-based platform that we use. And if you have any family members that are having that issue, I can help them with it. Or if they are not subscribed and you would like them to be subscribed, we can add in as many folks as you want. So they'll get kind of emergency updates, the weekly letter updates, any kind of updates that Ron or the community send out. The third item under the sales agenda is we are going to start, we meaning marketing, the royal we over here, are going to start doing welcome cocktail parties for new residents. But the way we're trying something new. So I appreciate you all for working with me when we try something new. So for example, if we have a resident who's moving into the 600 casitas, we're going to do a special cocktail party just for the folks living in the 600 casitas, so you can really have a little bit more of an intimate opportunity to meet your new neighbors. I know, and then we'll do it kind of north side, south in the apartments, west and east, and then 500 for the casitas. Vanessa and Shane do a great job with the new resident welcome, but that's a lot of people all at one time. So we thought this would be a nice way to kind of meet your immediate circle, if you will, or hallway, and go from there. So we're going to start instituting those. My goal is early February. I may ask some of you who moved in the last couple of months to have a cocktail. I know you know your neighbors and all that, but we want to try it before we, jump into the deep end on it. So I appreciate your patience with us while we work that out. Any questions for me related to sales? Okay, I'm going to skip down to the maintenance update because Nestor's on vacation too. We did the water sanitization process on the 16th, so we're about a week and a half away from it. Once we completed that night, I think we finished about 9:30 at night, the water was all back to safe and normal. They are continuing on the quarterly testing, and I know Ron is working with Nestor, and the water management company that we contract with for mitigation strategies so that we don't need to do this fun little adventure ever again. So they're working on that. I know that some information went out via the family communication, immediately after it was complete. Are there any questions that I will do my very best to attempt to answer? Yes, ma'am.
I understand through a rumor mill
Well, that's the best source of information I have.
that this water testing is not a requirement from the Department of Health, that a lot of communities like ours do not test their water. Is that correct?
To my very limited knowledge, it is a regulation because of skilled nursing.
Okay.
So we do the water testing and the water feeds the whole building, so we can't just say, well, I only want this water. So we test the whole building. So I am pretty sure that you are correct about that. And it is a newer regulation that got put in place, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago. Yes?
I'm curious, how significant is that for people, single people that live in a 2-bedroom place, to weekly or more often run the water in the bathrooms that's not being used?
Critical.
Okay, then
So I was gonna end with, if you have 2 bathrooms and you really only use one of them, and you use the second bathroom for storage, and I've been in a good number of these units as of late, so I'm not gonna point any fingers, but it would be a very good idea, and I think this is part of the mitigation plan that Ron and Nestor are rolling out. If you could once a week flush your toilet, turn the sink on, and run the shower or the tub just to get some water flowing. The housekeeping department, every other week comes in and does it, but this is kind of what we've learned, and doing this is the more the merrier. So that kind of is crucial to this process.
I mean, this struck home to me, and I think this should be stressed to everybody, especially the people that aren't here that don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I am almost certain that just the timing on it, the plan is going to be rolled out. I'm a mess today. The plan that's going to be rolled out is going to be, us doing our part, but also asking the residents to be part of it as well, with go to the bathroom once a week in your second bathroom, if you will. Yes, Ruby?
Once a week, but for how long should we let the water run? That's all.
I would say a few minutes. It's not something where we need to run for, like when we were in there doing the testing, that's not something that, it's just flush the toilet once, wash your hands, turn the tub on, and we should be in a much better, ensuring that we're not causing a problem, like this person down there. Yes, Pamela?
Is it a different water system than
The casitas are on a different system.
my washer and dryer is in that bathroom?
No, it's all the same.
If I use the washer and dryer every week, then I don't.
Well, but what happens is, so when you turn a faucet off, there's still water in the faucet. So it gets stuck there, so you have to keep it moving. Yeah, our washers and dryers in the main bathrooms that we're using in the kitchen and the dishwasher, that's getting flushed fairly regularly. So it's when you have any water source that's not continual, like that's not getting a more frequent use, if once a week, turn it on, flush it, turn it on, take a shower in a different venue, if that sounds like a good time. But if anything, just really turn those faucets off. I am about as sure as I could possibly be that there'll be more instruction from Ron and Nestor on this. But that was just a little tidbit of information that I got that I wanted to get out to everybody before we get too far away from it. All right, I am going to turn it over to Ms. Vanessa in Community Life.
Excuse me, did you say Craig is gone this week too?
Craig is gone today. He is at, I believe, a medical appointment.
Good morning, everyone. Just to let you know, just to remind you, tomorrow we have a new resident welcome social here in the auditorium. We're going to introduce about half a dozen new residents. So please come down and enjoy. The theme is Chinese New Year, so we'll make it fun in here and It should be a nice event. It starts at 3:30, so please make sure to get here at 3:30. We have a lot of fun things planned for February, Super Bowl, Valentine's Day, there's something else in there as well. I can't remember it right now. But just to let you know, for Valentine's Day, we are going to do a candlelight dinner. We're going to do a 4 and a 6 o'clock seating. And right in between that time, from 5 to 6, you're bringing in an entertainer to do a little social in here for Valentine's Day. So if you dine at 4, you'll be out in time to catch some of it. And if you go in at 6, you can come a little early for the social. So I thought it was a nice time to put an entertainer. It's right in between the 2 meals. Any questions on that, Ms. Johnson?
Sign up for that?
The candlelight dinner, yes. And the reservation book will be out a week prior to the 14th.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh. One thing on your agenda is a brain cafe. It's a new offering that I'm rolling out to residents. It is an 8-week course. So if you do sign up for a brain cafe, you have to be committed to come every Thursday morning for 8 weeks. Because every week you get a different task, you get homework, and it's a really cool way. It's to improve memory. From what I can remember, that's what it is. So, it's little tricks and tips to improve your memory and daily habits. So if you'd like to sign up, the first go around will be tomorrow. Please let me know so I can have enough materials printed. Any questions on that?
What time?
11 o'clock in the Dickinson Lounge. Second floor. Also, Super Bowl is around the corner, and as always, I'm selling Super Bowl squares. So you can purchase some with me after the meeting or at the front desk. They're $2, and as previous years, the pot gets split 50-50. Half of the money goes to Watermark for Kids, and the other half goes into 4 lucky winners' pockets. So $2 a square, and you can win $25 a quarter. So I have that here. Feel free to buy some off me, or if you did not bring change, the front desk is selling them until it fills up. Any questions, Pamela?
What is the Super Bowl? Is there a party or?
We are planning something for Super Bowl. We'll have the game on the big screen and but we're still kind of working on the logistics. But we will have a tailgate-ish party in here for that. Any other? No? Okay. Well, thank you so much. I have no update on Life Loop. I got the TVs to stay on, so I consider that a very big win for me. And hopefully soon they'll come and do the in-house channel. But as of yet, there is no update on Life Loop. Mrs. Dorr?
Will you continue on having the new residents welcome?
The question was if we're going to still do the new resident welcome. Yes, even though marketing is doing smaller cocktail parties for move-ins, we are still going to do every other month or a quarterly new resident welcome, because I feel it's still important to meet everyone as a group and give everyone a chance to meet everyone outside their block or hallway. Any other questions for me? Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much. Remember, I have the Super Bowl squares, and I will hand the baton off to Lori.
All right, good morning. Good morning. Nice to see you all. This is a good turnout. Just a little update on staffing. We've hired a bunch of new caregivers in assisted living and in IL, so you'll be seeing some new faces. I know most of them have started, and there's 2 more yet to start. We've hired a few nurses over in skilled nursing, which as of April 1st won't be my responsibility, but for now it is. So that's a big win. We have 2 LVNs that have started, and we have an RN that will start next week, so that's a big one. And I don't know if you've all met the new maintenance associate yet. His name is Jason. He's right there. Speak of the devil. Come on in. So you can, yeah, he's right behind you. He's coming
Everybody
up.
say hi, Jason.
So this is Jason, and he's the new maintenance associate. For those of you who haven't met him yet, so. I don't know. Do you know about electronics? I'm supposed to ask you.
Yeah, I know about everything.
He knows everything. And you heard it here first. He knows everything. So
You know how to dance?
he's gonna.
Can I stand on your head?
Oh yeah, they'd like you to come up front so they can see you.
Do the walk.
Ask him to say hi, Jason.
Yeah, he's right here. He's coming.
He's also good looking.
Here he is, Jason.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for being so welcoming to him. He's,
I know.
I appreciate
I
it.
love this place.
Great. We love
Thank you.
having
You
you.
know how to remove TVs?
You know I do.
Oh, man. I got a job for you.
Okay, so that's a big score for us. We're still looking for servers. We have one that's in background. One or two in background? One now, yeah. We had one that didn't quite make it, so, you know, that happens. But we're still, still a struggle, and it's everywhere, so.
Where's our director?
He's in background clearance. He's from out of state. That always takes a lot longer.
How about the chef?
That's who I'm talking about.
Oh, is he a chef?
Mhm.
Oh,
What is the population of wellness people? How many people do we have in wellness?
How many, like,
Associates.
Associates.
Oh, I don't know off the top of my head. We're
I heard
working
a number
on,
of 27,
that could be right.
okay?
So we're working on, because we have a lot of caregivers hired, we're working on, some are gonna be moving from assisted living over to independent living. We're trying to find the best fit too right now. So you may see some people that have been in assisted living prior coming over, or vice versa. So we're really trying to find people's strength and putting them where they're best needed. We're also be doing a MedTech certification course. So more of the caregivers will have MedTech certifications.
So, and one skilled nursing leaves Colorado on April 1st. Will there be any registered nurses in wellness?
No,
Why?
because we don't have to have one and it's expensive, basically. We'll have LVNs, we'll have, but we won't have any RNs.
Well, weren't we told when we moved in that there would be always an RN on
No.
place?
Mm-mm.
Oh, yes, that is precisely what I was told. And there was,
Can't hear.
right here. Her name was Faye.
The
She was the director at the time, and she happened to be an RN, but it's not a promise.
The question was that if you moved into independent living, there would always be an RN on staff. At the time, our wellness director was an RN, so we were lucky in that, but there is no regulation or rule stating that we need to have an RN in that position, an LVN rule.
In skilled nursing, do you have LVNs?
Yes,
And if one of those leaves, are they eligible to be hired by the Colorado?
that's all being ironed out right now, but probably.
Gwen?
When we moved in, also they said if we have 10 days at skilled nursing, if we need it, is that still in effect?
So the question was about your 10 days of life care days in our skilled nursing.
Yeah.
That I don't know about.
At this time, Ron has all of these answers, and once we get more information, there will be communication sent out to the residents, but at this moment, neither Shane, Lori, or I can really speak on the matter because we're not 100% sure on where it's going. Ron has that information, and once he gets back, he will share that information with the rest of you. Yes.
You've been here 15 years.
I'm Community Life.
Why isn't there someone here from skilled nursing this morning, from wellness this morning? Here. Why isn't there someone from wellness on the dais today?
Helen should be here.
Helen's off today.
Everybody's off.
I know. Mrs. Wolf.
I had sent a text to Ron on January 6th, expressing my frustration, and I'm in the halls, and if I don't recognize someone, I quickly ask, who are you, and why are you here?
Mrs. Wolf, we can't hear you.
When I see strange people in the hall, I'm
Closer.
always
Closer to your mouth.
That way, yeah.
And I always question them, who are you, and where are you from, what are you here for? And frequently, I find people in the halls, closer, burgundy shirts, which we all can buy at Walmart, but they have no ID badges, they have absolutely no AccuShield badges. Some of these people I have found have been here through wellness, but a registry. Apparently wellness has had some times when they needed some registry people coming in, so they have little caregivers coming in. And they're bright and perky with a burgundy shirt, no ID from even their own registry, no AccuShield tag from the front, which they're supposed to have. So Ron was nice enough to embellish his chronicle that came out with the fact that vendors, visitors, and private caregivers must have AccuShield and their name badge. But he didn't mention that our staff are reluctant and reticent in wearing badges, especially wellness. And wellness, as you know, is one of the departments that walks into our apartment at any old time and wants to touch us, feel us, which, hello, not gonna happen. So, and they come with little jackets, sweaters, shirts from the outside, no identification at all. And it is, wellness is notorious. So, even the other day, I was with my friends and I questioned a nice looking young man, and he was well dressed and nice little Walmart shirt on the top, but he left his new badge that he just got hired. He looks like a nice hire, but he left it in the car. Well, that doesn't help us when he knocks on my door. I am not gonna let him in. I don't care how cute he is. He's not coming in. Not gonna happen. So, and this is not something we're doing because we are particularly prissy about who is in our home. It's important and it's a health and safety factor. And Title 22 and the California State Regulations 73529 states emphatically that all personnel dealing with residents shall have a badge that clearly states their name and the department from which they are working. So we are not asking for this as a courtesy. It is a regulation, and it is part of what this facility needs to do. So we can really enforce, and if they're wearing a little jacket because it's cold out, flip your little magnetic badge to the outside. I know we know a lot of people, but I don't know all the new ones. So
Yeah, so that's true, that is 100% true, and everyone is given a name tag when they are hired, so it's, I'll reinforce with their manager that they need to, be sure they're having their name tags on at all time, writing it down. That goes for all departments too, and, so I do order them name badges, and they all have a temporary one. If they don't have their permanent one yet, they do get a temporary one.
Please
So-
silence your cell phone.
Sounds like church.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I would be interested in knowing how, the presentation that we just all listened to from visiting physicians, how did that come about? And is the, was this a Carlotta invitation to the doctor? And are there gonna be other similar type presentations from others in the medical, field for us as was this morning?
I don't know anything about that. I don't know who was here. I don't know who set that up. Unfortunately, I don't know that answer.
As you know, I always try to get people to come in, and if there's anyone who ever reaches out to myself or Molly that we would think would be of interest to the residents, we always have them come in and do a presentation. We don't solicitate for doctors, but if doctors want to come and present, then we feel it would be a good fit for the community, we do let them come in. Yes, one.
Who put all those notices in the boxes? About those.
My team. Yeah, we put the notices in the box.
There was no location stated, so we didn't know where it was supposed to be.
Yeah, there was no.
That was an oversight on our part.
Yeah.
Was it held?
We have the mic.
Who wanted a question?
I wanted the mic,
Oh,
please.
and then I'll circle back to you, Mrs. Alvarez.
I just want to stress the importance of having someone from wellness here.
Okay.
We get, 1 month ago, we asked some questions and made some statements about wellness, and the answer was that it will be answered. And we're now 60 days, it's going to be 60 days. There are problems with wellness. For example, I know a resident who had COVID, was tested, and then to my knowledge, never saw anyone else from COVID while she had it.
From wellness.
Excuse me, from wellness. And that's just not what we signed up for in this joint. Wellness is important. Now, I'd like to ask by show of hands, who knows exactly what they have to do if they get sick, ill, or get COVID? You know exactly what to do. Okay, Ruthie, tell me exactly what you have to do.
Okay, can we just table this when wellness is here?
Well, yeah, we keep tabling this, but we don't get any answers.
I understand, but we're not able to give you any answers today.
That's not our fault. You got 56 people.
Right, I
there
know,
this morning.
but we can, let's,
Not a good answer. Yeah, you can have it.
we're unable to, I'm sorry, but we can't answer those questions. We'll get someone to come for sure next month who can answer those, but I'm not able to, yeah. Vanessa's got the mic.
You better speak up now.
Those people that were here today, I get calls every day from people like that. that want to sell you Medicare and all their things. They were useless. They were useless.
Yeah,
Those people have been here before the pandemic, and it's always good to get information, and they were very, very good.
Yeah, they
to
were
answer
good.
questions.
I just want to suggest that maybe you all tell Ron, maybe we can have another meeting next week when Jeff's back.
Yeah, when someone's here that can answer questions. This is a farce.
Special meeting.
Listen, I just want to say something.
Oh, good.
So, my test kit did not work. My test kit did not work. So I called Wellness up and they came immediately, like this?
No, like you're almost gonna give it a kiss. You have to eat it.
Either way, my test kits, 2 of them did not work, did not show any lines, so I called Wellness up. I called the front desk. They talked to Wellness. Within 10 minutes, somebody came with another COVID test. I was tested negative. And then, but I had fever, so it looked like the flu. So from then on, for about 2.5 weeks until I said I'm totally okay, they came morning to test my blood pressure and my oxygenation, and nights every day for 2.5 weeks.
You lucked out.
Yeah, maybe, but I just.
Can anyone else ascertain that they've received the same kind of help?
No.
One,
I have.
two, 2 out of 56.
okay. Okay, let's move off wellness for a while since no one's, okay. What's your question?
My question is, can somebody tell me exactly what wellness is supposed to do? If you push
Yeah.
the button, what exactly can wellness do besides,
That,
pick
again,
on the floor?
I'm not a clinical person, I can't answer that for you,
Well,
unfortunately. I hired,
when you hire people for wellness, what do you tell them their job is going to
that
entail?
wellness goes over their job application with, or their job description with them. I don't have that knowledge, what they can and can't do.
I mean.
Oh, Molly knows regulations here.
You
Molly knows
have
regulations.
some real rules as to what to expect from an applicant for any position, whether
Right,
it's
right, I do,
waiting on table.
But I don't know what your, I don't know. So when we're hiring for wellness, obviously it's gonna depend what we're hiring for. Wellness, like Helen, for example, she's a licensed vocational nurse. Her knowledge base is more than the care staff that we employ. So in independent living and assisted living, it is a mix of caregivers, which they go through it's 8 hours of training once they're hired, after watermark training and about the community and whatnot. There's an 8 hours of required training that they go through. It's based on the state of California curriculum. Now, if you're receiving medication services, the people that come to you are certified what is commonly referred to as a med tech. They have had 12 additional hours of training on how to properly dispense of medications. Now, please keep in mind, med techs are not licensed professionals, LVN, RN, NP, physician. So they, for example, cannot give you a shot. They can only hand you medication to take. They cannot do anything where the medication is put into your body. Does that make sense? So injections, any other types of medications that would be put into your body. They can only assist you, i.e. hand you the pills to take. So those, and then CNAs obviously go through training. I want to say it's a 3-month class. Yeah, it's 12 weeks. Look at me getting one thing right. So it's a 3-month class, and then they take a test with the state of California and are a licensed, certified nursing assistant.
Do we hire those people?
We do. So
And
wellness,
wellness?
so wellness staff is made up of Helen and Lorraine, who are licensed vocational nurses, and care staff. So Charles, Julie, Brandon, I'm forgetting about 20 other names, but they're the care staff. So they're the folks that are here 24 hours a day that provide care services for you if you're on wellness points. Now, for everybody else in this room who's not on wellness points, what I think I heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, is what is the level of expectation should I need something at 2 o'clock in the morning? Am I on to what the question it was or is, kind of? The care staff is here to respond in a situation. So say Vanessa pushes her pendant, they respond, she's having shortness of breath, she has COVID-like symptoms, whatever the case may be, they respond at the level that they can. So they can't diagnose you, they're not a doctor, they can't go, oh, you have COVID. Well, they can say, here's a COVID test, and here's how to take it. They probably helped you take the test, because actually inserting the Q-tip into your nose is a medical procedure. So they can walk you through how to do it, okay, but they can't do the test on you. They, in turn, if it's something that's not basic first aid, which we had a CPR and first aid class here that some of the staff went to, they are required to keep up that certification and have first aid training. So if you bump into something and skin something and you need a Band-Aid or some just like basic first aid care, not wound care, basic, what I do when she falls down, clean, Band-Aid, basic first aid care. Yeah, give it a little kiss. Probably not for the wellness caregivers, but basic first aid care, they can do that. But they do in turn report to Lorraine, Helen, and if it is above what's called, their scope of practice, if you will, they escalate it to the next person. Helen and Lorraine both have work cell phones that get used regularly. And in some situations, let's say you fall, nobody in this room has ever fallen or had an issue, I'm sure. But if you fall or have a situation that is above their scope of practice and even would be above an LVN scope of practice, they say we can call 911, and then the conversation happens about, do I want to go out 911? Do you have a choice? Those kinds of things. So basic first aid service, wellness can provide. That's kind of, I guess we can use the term included. Wound care is something different. That's something where you're repeatedly coming back and changing or dressing wounds. Some of you may have seen the wound doctor, whatever the case may be for your individual need. Wellness is here to, they run the flu clinics, the COVID clinics, all that kind of stuff. They're here to facilitate care. So say you do need to go on care services for a week, 2 weeks, indefinitely, whatever the case may be for your situation. Helen or Lorraine would do that assessment, develop a care plan with a correlating cost, go over that with you, and then they would instruct your team, what it sounds like in Ruthie's situation, go check morning, noon, and night, do meds, help with showers, whatever the case may be. Even if all of us in this room were on care services, I would almost 100% bet that everyone's is going to be pretty unique and individualized to them and what's going on with them. And that's where cost comes into play.
I understand that.
Did that make it better or worse?
What I really wanted to find out is basically how well staffed are you? How many people do you have on staff for just normal things that you would expect wellness to come? If you push the button and you need some kind of help.
So how many people are here at any?
How many people are
There's
on
usually
staff
3
at all time to come?
So it's
caregivers.
during the day, so there's 3 shifts because they're here 24 hours. A 7 to 3, 3 to 11, and 11 to 7. During the day, when everyone's awake, so the 7 to 3, I believe it's between 3 to 4 care staff.
Yes.
In the evening,
3
3
to 4.
3 to 4 care staff.
There's 2 at night.
2 to 3 at night, and then in the evening, there's 2 in conjunction with some of, and then there's the assisted living staff here is here at night too.
So that totals 7, what you just said.
In any given day, and it also depends. So there's roughly about 180 residents right now. Well, if 150 of them automatically tomorrow go on care service, the number of staff would need to increase, obviously. But that's a general framework. Unlike skilled nursing, where you have state mandated ratios, they refer to them as ratios. So if you have this many patients, you have to have this many licensed nurses, this many CNAs. Now in skilled nursing, everybody that works down there has to have an alphabet behind their name. They have to have a license, there's different ratios changed. In RCFEs or assisted livings, where you're providing assisted living levels of care, there are no state mandated ratios. So that's typically what we run, 3 to 4, 2 to 3, and then 2. Depending on, and then you have to think during the day, Lorraine and Helen are here, or at least one of them is here, because one of them works Sunday to Thursday and one works Tuesday to Saturday. Yes, ma'am.
You weren't here, we asked about the 10 days in skilled nursing. Is that still part of the marketing package?
So, the contract that you all signed, that is part of your contract. It will not go away.
In other words,
How
if your
about the new
grandfather
people?
in, your grandfather.
Your grandfathered in. I don't have the new contract with the different owner entities in it yet. It's in Sacramento somewhere doing its thing up there. I don't know if it's going to continue to be included, but everybody in this room signed a contract that has that clause in it. And even the people, and I ask the question on my once a week call that I get with the owner group. The people who deposited, like if you deposited right now, skilled nursing and that clause in the contract will stand. It wouldn't be until I get the brand new contract and until skilled nursing is managed by Aspen, which is the name of the management company, that may or may not make a change. I did not get an answer on that, but everybody in this room still has that benefit. Yes, ma'am.
Can I have the microphone?
Sure. You have this one.
Please.
This is my first, I officially got my license yesterday. So this is my
No. Yay.
Thanks. Can you hear me, Molly?
I can.
Okay. I just wanted all of you in the room to understand, and I'm speaking now as chairperson for the Wellness Committee. I did want you to understand that I had asked ahead of time, since Helen Kim as Wellness Director came to the last FYI, but she wasn't asked to speak. I had asked that she come this time so that we could have her here in order to ask her these questions. So I'm hoping.
She did not ignore you. She is off today. She's had a pre-arranged day off.
Molly, I'm asking you now that in subsequent meetings, if she as head of wellness is not available, we need to have an assistant, somebody from wellness that's able to answer questions, because that's really the reason why most of us moved in here.
Okay, I understand, and I will give her that feedback tomorrow when I see her, and I will also let Ron know. If I may go out on this limb, I think it's a pretty sturdy limb. I think a meeting outside of FYI specifically about wellness services may not be the silliest idea.
Okay, but maybe we could have both.
Well, I think yes. As speaking as one of the 4 up here, I appreciate when all the department heads are here to be able to answer questions related to their department. So yes, or a surrogate, if you will. But I will also make the suggestion to Ron that I think it would be beneficial, for clarity's sake, to have a special what is wellness type of session with everybody where they can ask the questions to the wellness people and Ron.
Well, you know, that would be really good, but on the other hand, also in addition, every month, different people come to this meeting.
And we need to see who we're dealing with. It means so much more if we can get a handle on the person that is telling us these things. So
I agree.
we could have both, that would be great.
Absolutely. I will do the very little bit of power I have. I will make the suggestion. Can we do Karen and then Karen?
I learned I learned several things, but one very important thing when I was on the resident council, that you are required to be at a meeting. You knew when the meetings were scheduled. FYI meetings are scheduled, I believe it's the fourth Wednesday.
Typically, it's the fourth Wednesday of every month.
Why aren't the directors here every month?
3 gone is not a good answer.
I don't.
For any reason, 3 gone is not a good answer.
Okay. I cannot speak to that. Yes, they are pre-scheduled. What everyone's I don't control every director's schedule, but I will relay the message.
Since we have the annual meeting coming up next on February the 1st at 11 o'clock, would it be, well, we never know what residents are going to ask. So maybe Ron and Craig and all of the directors should expect questions on wellness. It's such a hot topic right now.
The information I received from Ron is that we are all to be there. So I'll be there. I know the 3 of them will be there, and everyone should be back from vacation.
And that is the annual meeting where the information will be presented to us supporting the rental increase.
Right.
But it could be expanded to cover wellness.
Absolutely, and I would say on that note, it is also important, I would encourage your neighbors to come to the meetings that are scheduled as well. Because I would imagine you all get asked questions about what happened, I think it's important for all of us to show up. Mr. Shane.
Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Shane Oliver. I'm the Director of Dietary Service, and I'm happy to be here now. It's so good to see everybody. I have so much to talk about. This little baby is adorable. What is her name?
Her name is Shauna.
Shauna. Isn't that beautiful? It's so nice to see. I'm not really a kid person, but that is an adorable baby. So, good things are happening. Staff training and morale are up. And I'm hearing really good things about, hi Alan, I'm glad you made it. I was looking for you. I'm hearing really good things from all of you about the staff. One of them is that they seem to be happier. They seem to be more engaged. They seem to, and that's important. They need good leadership to show them that this is fun. This is food and beverage, wine. It's fun. So I think they're picking up on that, and I'm real proud of them. The kids that we have here, we don't have very many, but their heart is in it, and they're trying very hard. And it's a hard job, You live here, they see you every day, you're so sweet and nice to them, they get to know you, but sometimes you may not feel well, or something might be going on in your personal lives, and you come to dinner or wherever you go, and it's reflective sometimes, and that's not what they're expecting. They come to work, they're supposed to serve you, and it's not a restaurant, so you're not here every day for just dining. But they're great kids, and I'm so proud of them. I'm really, really happy to have Adriana back. Adriana is our lead server. And when I first met her, I could see it. I can identify in her knowledge, skills, abilities, and whatever. We have a program through Watermark called what's it called?
Partner program.
Partner program. And I identify her as somebody that is a good candidate for that program. The program is that I would approach her and let her know that she has the potential maybe someday to take my position as a Director of Dining Services way down the road, because I'm an old guy. But she could start off, she's a lead now, she could become sort of a dining room supervisor, and then a dining room manager, and then a dining room director, whatever it may be. And I noticed when she first came here, she was reserved. First of all, she came back from a surgery, and that's her personal medical business, but she was a little reserved, and the thing was, she worked so hard, and she didn't want to be taken advantage for that from the others of us. So, and I just watched her over the short time that I've known her drop all that reservation and go full forward. She has a surgery somewhere. She's explained to me she wouldn't be able to lift that heavy big tray that I encouraged them to do, and I got it. So we said, we'll put the tray there, you load it up, and I'll be happy to carry it back for you. She never did it. She went, she's doing it herself, and she's working super hard. So I approached her and I said, I think you're a good candidate for the partner program. And she smiled and she said, this is awesome. She's a mother, I think she's a single mother, and she's looking for growth. And that's what we're all about here. We offer, opportunity in activities, in administration, in nursing. Maybe not so hot ticket today, but yeah, I guess there's a lot of opportunity in nursing, isn't there? Wow.
I'd like to add something.
Yes.
Everything you said about Adriana is absolutely true.
So when you see her
5.5 years ago, she was horrible.
Oh, I don't know about horrible, but...
Well, she was, and she's come a long way.
She was pregnant.
A long way.
I'm pregnant. I got pregnant here. I gained 20 pounds. This food is so good. So I'm really excited about our staff. We have Wilbur, if you guys know him. He's a little reserved. He's working really hard. He's very conscientious. I'm trying to work with him to get a little bit more. Hi, my name is Wilbur. I'm your server tonight. The soup's are. Let me get you some wine. Yes, Pamela.
Well, I have to tell you, the other night, he was being his sweet self, and he was asking, what else can I get you? And I said, I'll have 2 wines, ice, and a few kind words. And he pulled his mask on and said, you look beautiful tonight.
And she does look beautiful. Did everybody hear that? So that's great. So it's working. My coaching for him is working. Very good. I'm proud of him. We have Krishan. His mother works here in nursing. And she's telling me, he better be doing a good job. He better be following the rules. He better be doing this. And I said, you have nothing to worry about. He is so dedicated, working so hard. Their knowledge is minimal. But they want it. And they like it. And they like what we're doing over there. So that's good. We just hired a neat guy yesterday. His name is Matthew. It's hard to get these people through here. They have to go through a rigorous background process, and I won't go into the details of that, but you know all that. They can also go to any other restaurant in the desert, apply, and go to work maybe a week later, and here it's going to be the whole process, and then orientation, and then do they really want to do this, So we just lost a girl that Lori went through a lot of effort trying to get her on board, and she just didn't show up her first day. Lori called her and she said, I'm sorry, it's too far away from my home and it's not really what I wanted to do. Are you kidding? We've been waiting for her for 2 months. So this boy is super. He's he's in college. He wants to be an EMT, emergency medical technician, but really great personality. I think he'll fit right in with us. So excited about that. The cooks in the back. I'm hearing a lot of compliments on the food. I've worked at, I think, 6 retirement communities now in my career. This is the best food that I've ever seen produced. It is mass production. We're not a la carte, except for CC, so we don't just cook it to order, so it's hard to maintain a really good standard. I see clean plates. I'm clearing your plates, I see clean plates, and I get a lot of compliments. Every once in a while, there'll be something that's not so great that didn't work for somebody, and there's always room for improvement. These cooks want to do well for you. They're back there, they're trying very hard. I saw the prime rib at Christmas. I tasted the short ribs at New Year's. We have Valentine's coming up. We'll probably serve hot dogs and hamburgers like we did at Pamela's birthday. But they want to do good. And I try to bring them out to the dining room and let you see them and get familiar with them. So that inspires them to know who they're working for and how appreciated they are. We're waiting for my counterpart, the other director of dietary services. So that's the chef that we're waiting for and the director that you spoke about. and I'm sure he'll be around the corner anytime. I met him. He's a very neat guy, and for what he told me, I think he'll fit right in with us. So it's just a matter of getting him here. In the meantime, I'm doing everything by myself, and I'm dying doing it. No, just kidding.
But you enjoying it?
I love it. I love being here. Thank you very much. So we had some festive events, as I just mentioned. We had Christmas. I was very impressed with what I saw. Then we had New Year's. That was very nice. We have Valentine's coming up. I lived in New York City for 20 years. I worked for Ritz-Carlton. I worked for great, great people. I've seen beautiful windows. I've thrown great parties. I was trained by the best. And I bring that here, and I'm going to let that out of myself and kick these parties up a notch. I'll bet the people that were here for New Year's, for Christmas, there was another party we did, but I think New Year's, will next year probably tell everybody how good it was, so I'm sure that there'll be more people present, but I think they might even invite friends and family and start doing all that. So we really want to make this nice for you. Valentine's Day is a candlelight dinner, and me and Vanessa are working closely on that, and I'm excited for that. To piggyback on Molly's meeting our new neighbors, so we have the new resident event.
Tomorrow.
What is it called?
New resident welcome.
New resident welcome. Yesterday I was approached by a niece of a new resident. She wanted to know how I could help her. She doesn't want her family member to move in here and isolate herself in her room. And this is something in my career in the senior retirement community I've been approached with a lot. If a new resident moves into independent living and is shy, they may go in their room and just order everything delivered or come and pick it up, and it's hard for them to come out into the dining room. So she asked me if I could help her with that, and I'm more than happy to do that. One thing that I could do is say, hey, this is Loretta, and would you mind sitting with her, you know? And I don't know how I do that. I don't want to put you in a position that you're uncomfortable, and I also don't want to put the poor lady in that position either. But if you can work with me a little bit as these new residents move in here, and we can help somehow welcome them, see if there are some people prefer to be alone, or some people, but this particular person was a nurse in her prior career, and is very, very bright, a wonderful lady, and I think that she'll be a nice addition. So once her family member goes away next week, then how do we get her so that she comes? She came for dinner last night, and I watched her. She was with her family member, and she loved the food. She was happy. She was looking around. She was watching the interactions with everybody. So she'll be an easy one to reel in, but they're not always that easy. So help me with that, and we'll get these people going into our system. There was a marketing event the other day, and it was a lot of fun. Some neat people there. Pamela was there. And yesterday, one of the ladies was touring with her friend, with Mark, and said, oh, there's Shane. Well, Shane, we had such a great time at that party. We just decided I'm going to bring her, but I'm definitely going to move in. And she's all involved in all kinds of charities and different types of things. Really neat person, type of people that we need here in independent living to continue to grow the wonderful, diverse crowd. What's the matter? Are you getting bored? Listen, after that whole nursing presentation, I'm going to talk all day. That was boring. It's important, I get it. It was very important. All right, let's see. Super Bowl party, we'll work on that, make that good. Life Loop, I spoke to Vanessa about that. The neat thing about that, as far as I'm concerned, is that the menus can be posted on that eventually, which would be really nice. And also you can make your reservations for that. So very easily you'll be able to click, 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 and I'm coming to the dining room. I'm gonna, we don't really do a huge amount of reservations here, but we could do more, and it'd be nice to know that we were ready for you when you came. I, in closing, have a plug for myself. I'm very excited. We have the Watermark University, and I will be giving a course on wine trends. Thank you for clapping. I don't know. Hi, Ann. Welcome. Everybody say hi, Ann. So, I'll be giving the course. This course, restaurants, there's different kinds of restaurants out there. A really good, reputable restaurant will have a sommelier. The sommelier will do his research, and he will go out and he'll decide on the wines that will be served and how much you're going to pay for them. Usually it's about 3 times the price markup that they pay for it themselves. So some of them can be very expensive. My course is different. It's about trendy wines that are in trendy restaurants, and because they don't have a sommelier to do that research part, they just trend together, so they connect with each other. And these are neat wines that you'll find in those type of independently owned restaurants where they have really good taste and something exciting to offer. I guess there's only availability for 12, so if you're interested in this, let me know. The wines that I'm presenting are a little bit pricey, so we won't be able to go crazy and drink too much. And the ones I'm limited to, like Costco, and I can't go to the wine boutiques that we had in San Diego and whatnot.
I will put up a sign-up sheet by tomorrow morning. So it'll be in the green binder, and like that'll be fair. It'll be first come, first serve, so you can sign up there.
Does anybody have any questions for me? By the way, this outfit is 100% from the thrift store. I like to share my clothes with you. She was mentioning the Walmart shirts. Well, everything I have on except for my watch are from the thrift store. And I only have a spot on this. Well, I won't show you that. I had to cover it up with a sweater. Yes, Joanne?
Have they fixed your $4 shoes yet?
So I had a pair of shoes. They were beautiful shoes. I was at church and I was praying. I'm Roman Catholic. I got up and I said, hey, those are great shoes for $4. I said, $4? So the price tag was on the back. The price tag was on the back. So I thought it was awesome that I had these beautiful $4 shoes. You know, I got more compliments on those shoes than any other shoes I had. And I'm parading around the dining room and all of a sudden it ripped. The shoe came apart. And I was heartbroken. I love those shoes. So I ran to the front desk and got some tape and taped them up and proceeded to parade around the dining room for a couple more hours in those shoes. I looked at the shoes after I took them off. I'm going to go to a shoe repair and have them fixed. So they're pretty cool shoes. Any other questions? Why are you laughing? Yes, Marlene?
Why does...
Price is right.
Why does the menu change when we get down there?
Why does the menu change when you get down to the dining room? I'll tell you honestly, the first part of that is the chef person that comes here. Although we have great people in our department, we really do need that culinary leadership that says, I'm ordering this. If I don't get this, I need to make sure that I've got something equivalent. And right now, Molly's still doing the ordering. No, actually, Lisa's doing the ordering. Molly's still doing the menu. It's a lot for a new person to take on. There'll be two of us. It won't happen. What happens is sometimes we order it and the vendor doesn't get it to us or they don't have it. But that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. See, that it doesn't take that word. Hi.
Could you bring back the occasional macadamia nut cookie?
Sure, tomorrow. Let me run up to Costco. Yes, macadamia nut cookie. Good. Joanne had a question? You just did that for me to come over here. Thank
Oh,
you.
I know what it was. When are you going to make that wonderful garlic bread that you did the other night? You ran out and got a French bread and it was so good.
Thank you. So you'll appreciate that, Marlene. We had, one day we had cornbread on the menu. Well, I know, that's a heartbreaker. If you don't have your cornbread, what are you doing? So the cook waits until about an hour, well, half an hour before service to tell me we don't have cornbread. I could have 3 hours before gone and got more cornbread and mixed and we could have made it. So the next night we had breadsticks on the menu. And he comes to me 3 hours before and says, hey, there's breadsticks on the menu and we don't have them on hand. So I said, okay. So I ran to the store. There were I think there were $5 for 6 breadsticks. Ron would kill me if I bought enough breadsticks at that price for everybody. So I said, what do I do? So I went and got some French bread, and I made homemade garlic bread the way I know how to make it. And I served that instead, and it was pretty good. Now,
Do it again.
do it again. All right, I will. That's work intensive.
Labor intensive.
I have an embarrassing question. We can't hear you like this.
It's not working very well. How about that one? Better?
You got it, say it loud.
Say it out.
Real close.
I will try.
That's good.
It does?
Yes.
No. I'm asking an embarrassing question. I know a lot of us eat this. than more, rather than more. Me, I eat more. I'm sorry, I have to admit that, I'm a little piggy. But when I'm asking for more rice, for instance, they give me another little scoop. And then I go to my room, and an hour later, my stomach starts growling.
You probably had gas.
Either way.
Don't leave, we're not done.
And then they bring me those two, and I said, okay. So one of the waiters brought me after I finished.
He's funnier than Wolf.
Right. And I was a happy camper, and I finished everything.
So her question is, a lot of times I hear, I only want a half portion, I want a small portion. It's embarrassing in my 10 years of senior retirement culinary career that when you ask for a half portion or a small portion, it comes out the table and it's huge. And I don't know unless I every time go myself to there and say, this is a half portion, then take it to you. I see it all the time. I don't know what the disconnect in that is, but be patient. We have to cook a certain amount of food every day anyways, so it's not wasteful. It's part of what we have to do.
Yeah, but for me?
For her, a little different, and I've been firsthand involved in this transaction. She wants more food. She said, I would like extra rice, and then she proceeded to say, and don't bring me those two round balls of rice. That's not what I want. So I went and got those 2 round balls of rice, but I put them in something else so that they weren't round balls, and brought them to her. And she looked at me and she said, this is extra rice? And now I know. Okay, you really mean extra rice, and no problem. We have plenty of rice for you. Just tell the server.
Is it any carbs I need?
All right, good.
And I'm always, I didn't know that.
We wouldn't know that. 1 month here, and I'm already, but you look wonderful. Anything else? Yes, Karen.
I think I can speak for everyone. We are so glad to have you.
I'm so glad to be here. By the way, volunteers that come to the dining room and help us, we still need you, so if you're interested in doing that, we have more work than ever. And other properties I was not able to have volunteers. Usually the ED will say no, and people want to volunteer. We're still short-staffed, and if you come to dinner and you see the table, the silverware is very clean, and I can guarantee it's very clean, but it's spotted, and it looks ugly, and it looks dirty. It's not dirty, it's just not been polished. The glasses are spotted sometimes. We don't have the manpower within ourselves to go out there and do that. We have enough manpower to just go from production into getting the to-go and the deliveries done, into service, and forward from there. It's embarrassing for me to have you come to your table and there be no crackers in the thing, and there's only 2 sugars, and it's only 1 kind, and there's no salt. Those are all things that have to be fixed in the future, because that's just not the way to go. But any volunteers that want to come and help us ahead of time, folding napkins, polishing silverware, setting up tables, what? We'll take it. All right? So thank you. Thank you for that wonderful presentation on the name tag thing. It is the law that everybody has their name tag on, and when I see even the cooks, they have to have a name tag on. So when I see it's not a watermark thing, it's the law. You have to, it's regulation. You have to be wearing your name tag. So if you ever see anybody in the dining room without their name tag, please let me know and I'll give them a big.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Before we wrap up this meeting, Mr. Schweifler has a little something he'd like to give us.
It's a check.
It's a check. It is indeed. All of you know that we had a big sale on January 6th, and the objective was to raise money for Watermark for Kids, because that was the request from the people who donated the furniture. Well, I'm here to tell you that we raised $937.75 for Watermark for Kids, but because the thrift store had to do the processing and the sales, they get the same amount, which means that the amount that goes to the year-end holiday gift fund will be 90% of that 937, and 10% will go to the scholarship fund. So I just wanted you to know that your efforts were all.
Thank you everyone who participated in that, and that'll do it for our meeting today. Thank you everyone who came out, and we will relay all of your questions back to Ron. Thank you.
Remind about February 1.
And don't forget to mark your calendar February 1st. Thank you.